All right, everybody, welcome back to Tales on the Rocks. Here with Dan and Caleb again. Caleb just got done traveling the world on a boat for a little bit, so we have some tequila from what was it?
Mexico?
Isla Maya.
Oh, yeah.
Mexico. I'm the fucking name of it. What was it?
Heard of this country
Isla
before.
Maya.
No, it's Isla Maya.
Isla Maya. 150 pesos. So, some top shelf shit. I don't know what 150 pesos is.
It's just $150.
Is it 1-to-1?
Well, pesos, it's I want to say it's almost half. It should be like
It has to be less
$75.
than that. It can't be 1-to-1.
Oh, I thought you said that you spent $150
Oh, I
on
did.
the bottle.
Yeah, sorry, I did.
Oh wait.
Yeah, and it says 150 pesos. Did it say 150 pesos?
No, I was just.
No,
no.
I thought he said it was 150 pesos.
Oh yeah, no. There's actually a dollar sign next to
Oh,
it. I never paid
sure.
attention to it. I don't
Oh,
know. I'm kind
nice.
of dumb.
You just got
it wasn't
gypped.
like 400.
Yeah.
It's actually $75.
Can't say that anymore.
Wait,
You
what?
racist piece of shit.
Yeah, gypped is
Gypped?
like short for gypsy, and apparently gypsies are people.
Well, I'm a quarter Bohemian, so.
Yeah, I don't think that'll hold up in court. I don't think that'll hold up in court. All right, boys.
Cheers.
Thank you there, Caleb.
Yep.
Anytime.
Cheers, guys.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's good.
It's
It's like, it is kind of like the other one.
Yeah.
Did you have some of that before you told us that?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you said that, and I was like, that's pretty bold. Just to.
It's
Make
a
that claim.
reposado, so I mean, like, you don't really want to mix it with too many things. So
What's
it's like sipping tequila.
What's the
38%.
percentage? 38.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like vodka, basically.
Yeah.
Mexican vodka.
I think they just call it tequila in Mexico.
Yeah.
That's good, though. I just bought my father-in-law a couple bottles of Don Ramon. I
What's
guess it's a tequila.
Tequila.
It's a really good tequila.
Bro, if it's not Bud Light, I don't know what it is.
Oh, get out of here. No, it's really good though. Last time he was down here in San Antonio, giving us a visit, we had I think we drank the whole bottle while he was at the house, but it's really good. Picked him up 2 bottles. He can't find it where he is over in Missouri, so.
Oh yeah, it's a little more easy to get stuff down here. We're
Yeah.
like 2 hours from Mexico, so
Yeah, well, he always. I had a family member come down here for a school for their job, and anytime somebody from where they are comes to visit us, we always get a list of things they want back.
right. Yeah.
So you
Are you
got.
gonna charge them 25%
I should.
on it? Yeah.
Well, that's what I told him. I was like,
reciprocal.
well, because he gave us a whole list, and I was like, I don't really know how much it's going to cost, but like $1,000 should be good.
Oh yeah.
If I
do
had to guess.
beforehand. Just get like some really cheap shit poured in a nice bottle. Call it a day.
Nah, he would know. He knows his tequila for sure.
So how to find out?
Yeah. No, it's really good though. It's the Don Ramon. It's the Añejo. But they make a Blanco and they also make a Reposado. But those tequilas are very good.
I would
get them
do-
for like $40 at Specs.
I used to do the Blanco of I forget the fucking name of it. It's downstairs, but I used to get it a lot until you showed that other one that we had, and now I don't even touch the other thing. I just have the one that we had, the one that you brought over that we finished on New Year's, and then we like finished like. 3
Oh,
more
that was the
bottles later.
Siete Leguas.
Yeah, so that's what I get now. I'm gonna get tequila. I used to get like Espolón, I think it was.
Okay.
Espolón Blanco.
There's another one
Yeah,
that I
man,
want to
I
try
got that.
called Lalo, and I've heard Lalo's very good.
Yep.
Bro, we'll hit up my boy down the street here.
I was just actually talking. I went to ABC store, and that's exactly what they were recommending because they've been giving me some pretty good stuff, like
Okay.
just like the silver agave stuff for like margaritas. They recommended a good tequila.
Nice.
And I was asking about the reposados. Lalo apparently is like.
So I've only been able to find the Blanco Lalos. I don't know if they make a Reposado or an Añejo, but if
I'm
they
not
do,
sure.
man,
Only one way to
point
find
me in
out.
that direction.
Start going on Google.
But even just the Blancos I've heard are very good.
Yeah, I mean, I usually like I'm really that's if I'm gonna have one, that's usually more what it is. I think I don't get as I don't know if there's any like backed science behind it, but I don't feel like I get as fucked up the next day.
Oh, if you're drinking a Blanco?
Yeah, like
I
the
don't
one
know.
that we had on New Year's, I was fine the next day. I got up at like freaking 9 and
So-
was just like chilling.
My father-in-law was telling me, I guess there's this process where you could take an Añejo and filter out all of the coloring, so you still get all the flavor. I don't really know like what it does, but he said it's really good and it's
Huh.
pretty expensive though.
Interesting.
They might just like boil it and then like when they make like moonshine and shit.
I don't know. It could almost be
Or they
like
boil
some
it and
sort
condense
of
it back down again.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like a reverse distilling process or reverse distilling would be to use that's how they make like non-alcoholic wines.
Yeah, because like when I would allegedly make like moonshine, that's what you would do. You would like boil. You'd make the mash. You'd let it sit for whatever, and then you can, like have it go up that worm. You heat it up, and it goes up the worm, and then it runs through ice and condenses, and then you get the alcohol out the other side. Apparently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Used to do that. What, in prison?
Well, that's like toilet wine, dude. They just let that shit fucking ferment. Put it in a bag, just right in the back of the fucking. Hide it somewhere.
And if you flush it, you die.
Yeah, it's kind of fucking gross, dude. Especially those toilets are like the jet ones, so like, there's no water in it. It just kind of like sucks everything down.
You know how many people have used those things too?
And it's just you're in a room, dude. It just fucking just mounted to the wall.
Dude, what was the show that I think it was on Spike, where they would go into the prisons? They'd show the prison life.
Oh, bro, Spike had way too much shit on.
I don't know, but they were they on this one episode that I'm thinking about. They were showing how different prisoners make shanks.
Yeah.
And one was out of poop. So they had their poop. They hardened it. So I think they used like an air drying process for
like
just
jerky?
like a solid turd.
Like beef jerky?
I guess
Alaskan
so.
bullworm,
Like
dude. Just
But
throw it
dude-
in the freezer.
no, but then so once it was dried down, they would sharpen it into like a shank that could pierce you.
Oh.
That's
like
disgusting.
sepsis, dude.
Dude,
That's pretty fucking nasty.
all the crap you could get from just from getting stabbed by a poop.
I mean, you could do that or just like eat an MRE. Get that out of you. And freaking just it's like clay, dude. Just mold it up, let her dry. Ready to go.
Make a freaking spear.
Oh yeah, little javelin head. That'd be nice. Yeah, I don't know. Like it's crazy. Like a lot of those people can just think of random shit to do. I mean, you have a lot of time.
You have a lot of time on your hands. So
Yeah. You got 20 to life, so I mean, you got time to think about shit, I guess.
Do I want to take advantage of my state's government and get an education from a community college professor, or do I want to figure out how to make a shank out of my poop?
Yeah.
The answer's pretty easy.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like anyone's gonna steal it. I don't. The likelihood of someone stealing your shit like that isn't as much.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Shit
imagine.
and your poop.
Yeah. They're like, no, that's literally my shit. Like, that was just inside of me. Yeah,
it's one thing like being all talks like I've been in prison, but I feel like in prison there's a lot of poop talk.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of just there with a bunch of other fucking people, and like after a while, I guess I'm sure it gets kind of fucking awkward. I mean, how many times like if you have a fucking cellmate, are you just gonna see them fucking like shit, like they're like jacking off?
It's like
you're just in there and you're like, oh fuck, dude.
Well, it's like deploying on the ships.
Yeah, but there's background noise on the ships, dude. You're in you're in cell block fucking D or cell block C for cum, dude, and they're just getting after it. Looks like a fucking glow party in there with a fucking black light. It's like a haunted house.
Can't tell the difference between all the blood and cum.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's a cobweb. Hands in your pockets. Don't touch that.
I know. Well, there was the other show where they used to take kids to prisons. That
Beyond
Scared
Straight.
Yeah.
Well, they're Scared Straight, and then they had Beyond Scared Straight as the sequel.
Yeah. Which they didn't Beyond Scared Straight anyone, because a lot of those kids were like, you can't touch me.
But they're all in prison now.
Well, I think they found out with that show too that like obviously the people that were there, like they were in prison, but they were usually in prison for like shit that wasn't atrocious. Like they weren't bringing these people around like some fucking serial killer. It was like someone who was like tax evasion.
Yeah,
and it's like.
Well, I mean, they're not gonna bring out like a child predator to scare a bunch of
but
kids.
I'm not gonna be scared from someone that was like, oh, I didn't claim, fucking driving for Uber. Like that's not gonna scare me.
Bring out what's his face from Subway to scare them kids.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what was his name?
I don't remember.
Well, fuck, man.
It's
Jared.
Jared. Yeah, Jared from Subway.
Yeah.
Bring him out.
Dude, next on Scared Straight, special guest.
Yeah.
Jared.
Hey,
kids.
So I think I showed one of you guys that what was it? It was like Nathan For You, and he had the robot where he was like no one's gonna take risks like this, and he had a California like trooper there, and he was like, if I'm unable to do these handcuffs in a minute, this robot will undo my pants, exposing me to these children. And he had the cop standing there. He's like, if that happens, this officer's waiting to arrest me and put me as a sexual predator. And he just says it so deadpan the entire time. Like that's like a good show. I feel like a lot of them, like even though it's like a lot of it's like fake shit. I feel like a lot of them now
that's fine. It's quality entertainment.
Yeah,
I feel like it's kind of dying.
Like, well, a lot of it's just a big push. It's all the same shit, dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you were just talking about Spike. That was just for men.
What?
Was it Spike?
Oh,
but
yeah.
dude, like a lot of these places,
I don't think so.
They trash the channel. Like they'll have frickin' MTV, and then when MTV isn't music anymore, they make MTV2, and it's like, stick with what you're doing. Like the History Channel's freaking bogus. Discovery, the Military Channel used to be good, and then now it's like how like UFOs are.
Well, that's History Channel, which doesn't make
with nukes.
I mean, all these cable or the cable networks are trash anyway. I mean, stream. You can get so much from streaming. Like if anything that I want to watch, is either going to come from Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, or if I can't find it there, I'm going to go on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like if I want to,
or some guy from Greece. Yeah. Nah, jokes.
You can buy the next Sandlot 2 and a rack of lamb.
Oh God. They're gonna fucking butcher it.
I would.
I don't think Sandlot 2's real.
Someone might make it.
Yeah,
we could do it.
They did it in Greece. Oh,
we could do it.
We could.
So am I getting a rack of lamb for the price of a DVD, or am I getting a DVD for the price of a rack of lamb?
I think you get the DVD with the lamb.
Yeah.
Whichever is more expensive.
Well, the rack of lamb.
Yeah.
In Greece.
That's the deal. That's how they get you to buy the lamb. Is they throw in Sandlot too.
Oh man.
And you're like, I don't got it. Don't let it touch the lamb, please.
Actually, now that I think about it, I'm a Goonies guy.
Yeah. For sure. But yeah, what do we think with Doge? I think that's the big main topic is.
Well,
gonna be Doge.
You sent me that Reddit page the other day about the possibility of Doge from the savings that they're going to make from all these cuts, about giving every U.S. person or every U.S. citizen that $5,000.
That's what they're saying,
Maybe.
but the math don't math, because they're saying.
Well, because I calculated it to
it's 1.5 trillion, roughly.
Yeah,
but they were talking about a secondary thing of like we would give 20% of that to every U.S. citizen, and then 20% would go to pay down the debt. But like, what about the other 60%?
I don't know, man.
They didn't say it, and it's like, one, you can't just go and take money from somewhere and then disperse it to everybody, because like that's going to throw up inflation, because your demand for everything is going to be not real. Because everyone's gonna be like, oh, I mean, look what people did with the fucking pandemic thing, dude. They got $1,200 once.
Yeah, because
and everyone's like, oh, I can get this fucking $1,000 fucking purse. Yeah, like no, you can't.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like I said in our little text chat. I think it's just a bunch of smoke and mirrors. He's gonna.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do anything with it.
No,
I think that's gonna be just because okay, cool. You send everyone $5,000. Now what?
Spend it.
Right, but spend it on. What, everything's fucking tariff. Spend it on fucking what? What are you gonna spend it on, dude? Fucking all like, and that's the thing is they're trying to make it like reciprocal tariffs. Like that's like the end state for this. And I don't think at the end of the day it's gonna work. Because like yes, we do have the economy behind it, where like we have more capital to just wait everyone out. But they're trying to make it where companies are gonna come over here to build factories, but like that takes fucking time. Well, that takes time. You're not going to do that
in 30 days.
Fucking week.
When last week when I was at the hotel waiting to go on our vacation, whatever, there was a commercial and it was from Canada. Like I think it was from Ontario. But the whole commercial was basically reminding Americans that Canada is still a really good trading partner, and they're just basically just being like, please resist.
Well, it's crazy because I saw something where some coffee place in. I don't know, somewhere in Ontario, they changed the name of Americano to Cadianano. And they're like, how do the Italians feel about that? Like, that's not why it's named Americano.
No, it's. I mean, it encompasses Central and South America.
Yeah,
as
it's
well.
like that's whole.
That's their Gulf of America.
Oh,
That is the goal. Yo, so I saw this thing, and it would be the funniest possible fucking move that Mexico could make at this point. They could take the Gulf of California, which isn't in California, it's all Mexico, and then just to make that the Gulf of Mexico, and just and just be like, yeah, dude, it doesn't even fucking border it. It's just literally all in Mexico. That would be the funniest thing. Dude.
Yeah. So are we just going to change it back to, Gulf of Mexico once we actually go
Well,
to the new
my
administration?
favorite thing with all that is like the amount of money it costs to change all that, and everyone's still just going to call it the Gulf.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever said the Gulf of Mexico like ever really. Usually just like, oh, I'm going to the Gulf. Okay, have fun.
I've definitely referred to it as the Gulf of Mexico.
Can't say that I
Well, it
have.
depends on where I'm at. Like when I was living in Florida, the Gulf, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, unless you're being specific, but like, how many Gulfs do we fucking have? Like you don't have to discern between multiple.
the Gulf of Aden.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you're going over there. Hopefully.
It's the only other Gulf that comes to my mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what the.
I don't know why,
what the
but that's
purpose
the
of
one
that
that
is.
I think of.
I know our children are going to grow up thinking the Gulf War was in Florida.
Yeah. I mean, it basically is. Every time a hurricane comes by, they're fucking shooting at it.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
yeah, there's
so-
a bunch of shit going on in Florida.
Yeah,
It really
really
is.
fucking wild.
I mean, I remember when Russia invaded Georgia and people were freaking out. Like, oh my god,
Yeah.
Georgia's in our backyard. Russia's in our backyard.
yeah, it's like wrong place.
Wrong Georgia.
Talking the country.
It was Georgia before. It was
Yeah.
Georgia here.
But,
Yeah.
did you guys see any of the highlights from the Canada versus USA hockey?
I saw
hockey
the first
game?
9 seconds. First 9 seconds of the game, I saw.
I was gonna say,
Is that how long it took for you to pick up the
That was
change
the first
channel?
3 fights.
Oh.
yeah. So, the Canadians booed the national anthem, the U.S. national anthem. So the U.S. hockey team wasn't having it. And
Yeah, and they went in there
they
to
started some
swinging, dude.
fights pretty
Yeah,
quickly.
they just hit the ice
It was-
and just fucking didn't even go after the puck. They just started punching people.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then they beat Canada 3-1.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because Canada went undefeated for a minute.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't follow hockey. I just saw that. They were like, oh, yeah, fucking 3 fights in the first 9 seconds. Pretty
Hey.
good game. Get your
Not
money. Get your money, dude. Nothing's better than combat sports. Nothing.
Dude, they did like a post-game interview of one of the hockey players who started one of the fights.
Yeah.
They're like, so, like, what did you think whenever Canadians started doing the national anthem? And he just goes, I didn't like it.
I'm going to tint their fucking windows, dude.
And then they did like an edit. Like right after he says I didn't like it, there was a whole edit that they did, and it was just him just
Yeah.
beating up the Canadians.
Dude, they just went in. They just went in. Then they were all in the fucking boo-boo box.
Oh,
Sitting
man.
there just waiting it out.
I mean, Trump has inspired Canadian patriotism ever since he got in the office. So.
Yeah. Well, he said something. I forget. It was another sports team, and he like called them like while they were in the locker room, and he was like basically saying like, "Get after it. Like we believe in you." And I don't know if he was trying to like maybe egg on like, "Hey, friggin' throw
Let's
some
go."
punches, whatever." You know, you got to do what you got to do to win. He's not afraid of punching down.
No.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, what, like Saddam Hussein's sons used to kind of do the same thing to their soccer teams in Iraq,
Yeah,
right?
but his dad got hung on TV. So, dude, isn't that crazy? That I don't know if you guys remember that, but like I watched live, in 2nd grade, him getting hung on TV.
I remember the pictures in the newspapers.
I remember just like standing there and we're having like dinner, and like they're like, all right, they're gonna hang him now.
It's a good old public
Yeah.
hanging.
Yeah, dude. They like had those people with the hoods come out and they put the fucking hood over him,
Yeah.
tighten the noose around his neck.
Because
I
he was
like,
inside of
"God
that
damn."
building. He was on that patio. And,
The gallows.
because it was all, well, I mean, it was all in,
Patio.
it was, well,
On the
no, it was-
lanai.
it was all indoors. I remember it because, like, we did the same thing. We, like, you
Yeah.
know, back in the day, in the 90s.
Yeah.
Well, in the 2000s.
2002 or 2003.
Just rolled the TV into
Yeah.
the dining room.
That's when they would show like reporters like in the middle of like fucking Ramadi, and they're like getting fucking shot at, and they're like interviewing some Marine on like a 240, and like they're just like casually talking, and then they start fucking shooting.
Yeah.
Dude,
Like,
I,
ooh.
That was
Not
a
gonna
weird
see
time.
Anderson Cooper out there, dude.
No.
Hubba.
I mean, like I think we stopped school to watch the bombing of Fallujah in Baghdad. Because I remember that.
Yeah,
too.
we stopped school to watch 9/11.
Oh,
Yep. Yeah, we did.
They had it on the TV, and like they had it where like after the first plane hit, and then we're all just sitting there watching. And I was in freaking first grade, and it was snack time, and then we're just sitting there watching the TV, and then a second plane hits, and they're like,
Time for a
"Okay,
nap.
we're gonna turn the TVs off now."
Well, it was weird for us because I grew up in a military area. So, I mean, I'm sure a lot of places were on lockdown, but
Yeah.
obviously you have the government and military influence in the town that I grew up in.
Yeah,
So, I mean, schools were locked down so fast. The whole base was shut down. And at that time, like, they didn't have base security. Like you could just drive onto the base
Yeah, you can give a
before
shit.
9/11.
Yeah.
There was no gate guards, nothing. Like, you could take a back gravel road that not many people knew about just to get on the Army base.
Yeah.
Which we would do.
sounds good.
But, dude, the next day, everything was shut down.
Yep.
And security was just going nuts.
Yeah, they had it pretty screwed up because I lived close enough to New York City where there was like dust on everything the next day.
That's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
You're from.
So they
you're
were
from
like,
up there.
yeah, they were, because like basically there was a building at the end of our street, like 3 or 4 houses down, and if you were on the top floor of it, it wasn't that tall of a building. It might have only been like 7 or 8 floors. You could see New York City from there.
Okay.
Like we were right fucking there, dude. And so like they had everything shut down. They took everyone out of school and like didn't know what the hell was going on. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. And then my dad was like recording it on a fucking VCR, and he's like, "We need to make sure we got this remembered." And like now it's just like freaking everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the amount of footage that comes out of that now, where like they're still finding
Yeah. There's
like new footage.
there's a TikTok page that I follow that has a bunch of like 9/11 footage,
Yeah,
and it's pretty cool because it's all just like random, like it's from like random citizens that were just from
Yep.
every angle, different apartment buildings, different office buildings.
Yeah.
You know, on the streets, on the sidewalks, in parks. And there's some pretty crazy angles, but it's cool because like you could see the actual experience too of everybody from and like get all these
Right.
different perspectives. It's like it's a really cool page.
I
guys-
wonder when we're gonna get our Zapruder film.
Get what?
Our Zapruder film, where like, you know what that is?
No.
So the Zapruder film is like the famous footage of JFK getting shot,
Oh yeah.
and like that was released years after the assassination. Like some guy was like, "Oh yeah, I was there and I filmed the whole thing," and like it just came out. Like there was no footage before of him getting assassinated.
Yeah, because there weren't cameras everywhere.
Right.
Like there are.
And
now.
then this guy was like, "Oh yeah, I got this," and like that's the footage. Like if you ever see it, like footage of JFK getting shot, like that's whose footage you're watching. I wonder like when that's gonna happen with 9/11, like where someone like finds a fucking VHS tape
Yeah.
and is like, "Damn, this is from someone who like filmed it inside the building,"
Oh,
or like some
damn.
crazy shit, you know?
I don't think I've seen anything from inside the building.
No.
I don't even know if that exists.
So the only thing I've seen from inside the building, there was a documentary going on following the fire department.
Okay.
And
Okay,
that's the
that-
footage
okay,
where
yep.
they're like they're checking for that gas leak and
Yep.
the first plane hits. That's what that's from. After that, they went into the lobby of the World Trade Center, and they were in the lobby, and like they would hear like explosions, but it wasn't explosions; it was people jumping from the window.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So like that's the only inside of the building footage that like I think exists. I mean, there's probably some out there, but yeah, I'm very curious when like we're gonna get like our Zapruder film, even though it's like over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I
Like-
said, there's even just from that TikTok page, there's still new videos being found.
But like, imagine if that even happened today. Like
Mhm.
back then, nobody had a fucking camera, dude.
No.
Everybody does now.
Well, everything's dude. I mean,
Everything's
look at
so-
the war with Russia Ukraine. You're
Yeah.
following this thing on social media.
Oh yeah, you're on Reddit and you can see like them like dropping freaking grenades from drones.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's pretty nuts.
Yeah, you get like a whole new sense of like fucking war.
Yeah, well, there was that article that I sent you guys. What I thought was interesting in there is it's talking about how, like, modern technology, just not technology on the battlefield,
But just seeing it.
is changing warfare, but the ability for everyday citizens to have something on, in their pocket, so their phone, they have all these devices And what I'm getting at is there was this app that was developed for Ukrainian citizens. If they spotted like Russian or enemy combatants in an area, they could alert it through the app, and that app would then notify, or it would go through certain military channels to alert the Ukrainian military, and they would know if there was spotted enemy combatants. So they would know where the Russians are just from civilians.
We'll follow them with the drone.
Yeah. Well, what's another thing is they went from hundreds of drones to thousands of drones to now making over 1 million drones. Like, I think it's like within a month or something. Like,
yeah. Well, it also defines like what a militia is over there too, because now I mean, like, you don't need a bunch of guys just to get a bunch of guns and just run out in the woods. Like, they could just use a drone.
Yeah.
And just do reconnaissance.
Yeah.
That's just as deadly as having 100 guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that no one ever thought of doing that, because like obviously we do stuff like Predator drones that they're running out of like Nellis.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the technology wasn't there, so like now they're using AI through those drones, and what's constantly being developed is like the acquisition and response time when the AI detects a target and actually like makes kinetic action.
Yeah.
And in the last 3 years of the conflict, that like acquisition or like the detect and destruct time has been shortened.
I mean, they're not even all like. There's some of them that they remotely detonate, but then there's some. If you see the video, there's like 2 rods sticking out of it, and that's like a contact one. Mm-hmm. So that's where like they're just like basically running, like they're like gassing the person out until they can't go anywhere, and then they just fly it into them.
Yeah,
which is fucking crazy to see.
They'll just land it inside of like an engine bay, inside of a tank, and it'll just go off like with a timer, or if it has like that contact with that conduit.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty fucking crazy to watch. Like combat footage on Reddit, like that subreddit our combat footage.
Yeah.
That's all they're posting, dude.
Yeah.
Is freaking just these drones and like the video from it, and like the Russians are on fucking motorcycles.
Yeah. Or
like dirt bikes. And like there's no like it's very easy to see that like there's absolutely zero structure when it comes to the Russians, where they'll like go over a mine and then these drones start coming in and they all just scatter.
Yep.
Freaking only one guy has a radio, and they're just like running through like what looks like a cornfield. Like there's no cover, there's no nothing. You're just in this freaking like tundra.
Yeah. Damn. So have you guys actually been following with some of the deals that we're making with Ukraine right now?
I know the mineral one they're trying to do.
That's the big one.
So
that's the big one.
Yeah. Trump is basically. I mean, he's excluding Zelensky and all of Europe right now with the peace talks,
which
with
is fucking
Russia.
wild.
But so with that mineral rights is he's not gonna have or give Ukraine any sort of security blanket or security guarantees unless they sign the deal for 50% of their rare earth minerals, which equates to about $500 billion. So $500 billion.
The only good thing that I could see, if for whatever reason that would happen, is then like the U.S. has a vested interest in making sure that like Russia doesn't fucking do anything.
Yes. Well,
that would be like the only good thing I could see coming out of that.
Yeah, and we've also seen, even before the war kicked off, something very similar. So Ukraine actually was selling property to farmers a while back. I can't remember when it was exactly, but it might have been in the early 2000s, a little bit before Russia took Crimea back in 2012,
2013, 2014, I think is what it was.
Yeah. Right around there. So you could essentially buy, I don't know how much property, but you could buy enough property in Ukraine and essentially purchase the lease on farmland, and you could actually generate revenue from it from the
Riviera of Eurasia.
Yeah. But now, like, you're seeing, I mean, if you guys watch videos and you see like the drones flying over Ukraine, they're all just bomb craters. Yep. So like, there's the big debate. It's like, Ukraine needs our help. They need money. They need help fighting the war. But like, at what cost to the American taxpayer? Because we only have so much money.
Yeah.
You can only print out so much money to help somebody. And I'm a firm believer to help somebody in need. But at this point, like, we might need something back. So it might be a good idea. $500 billion is a lot of money, because I think we just gave over $1.5 billion to Ukraine, like, with all the aids combined.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, because we sent that. What did they have last year? they had like that missing amount where like
somehow
somehow like $6 billion or whatever it was got sent to Ukraine and like nobody knew about it. They did like an audit and they were like, where'd this money go? So like it's probably up there, not $500 billion.
Yeah, no,
But it's definitely, I would think that even just for like, I don't know, time back per se, because like all the stuff we're sending is like extra stuff. Like we're not making things to send to Ukraine.
no. Also,
it's like extra
like
surplus.
we're getting benefits from helping that war too.
Yes.
Is like we're seeing the logistical supply chain. We're seeing our equipment work. We're seeing our technology work.
but you guys saw the minerals that it covers, right? What the output of those minerals would actually benefit us.
No, I haven't seen that.
So most of the minerals are would go into building like hard drives, computer chips, and batteries for cars.
Okay.
So they
batteries for cars like Tesla.
yeah for
Yeah, that's crazy.
So like the thing would be
What do they got,
like
lithium?
I mean, do you know how long it actually takes just to build like one of those plants just to create
Best
the
lithium.
fabricating start? That fabricating
I didn't
process
say
takes
that.
a
Some
long
people
time.
do. It's the best. Yeah, I don't know. It sounds very. But my concern is that he will go and take whoever gives him the best deal. Sure. So if like Russia offers something and he's like, love it, is he going to just side with Russia and be like, we're pulling out and they can do whatever the fuck they want?
I'm curious though, because right now it's been Marco Rubio and some of the heads of state in Russia doing all the talks, but soon they're trying to lay out a plan for Putin and Trump to actually have a sit down. They've called each other on the phone and had talks that way, but I'd be really curious to see what they talk about in person.
See, my thing is, even if they came to a deal, what would happen to the state of Russia? So like Putin failed on his side for like, the perspective of the people. He failed.
Time to blow up another apartment building.
That's
That's what he did when he first came in, dude.
That's
We got to
the issue.
stop these attackers, and he
Yeah.
fucking blew up an apartment building to take over, basically, and be like, we can't have another vote until this is handled, and it's been fucking 20 years.
So I mean, what's going to take for another Prigozhin type person to take a convoy up to Moscow?
But Zelensky's the dictator.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the guy who fucking played a piano with his dick is the fucking dictator. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's not happy. Zelensky, he's being left out of
Well,
all peace talks.
It's fucked up that they're leaving him out, because like if you're the country that got
But he's been there for
invaded-
3 years.
Right.
That's
But like my thing is too, like you're the one that the country got invaded.
yeah.
So how then are you going to be left out of the negotiation?
Well, Trump's sort of excuse for that is Zelensky doesn't want to like secede. Like, he doesn't want to give anything to Russia. Fair.
Right.
And he actually wants to go to pre-2014 territorial borders.
Right.
So
To
he
regress.
wants Crimea back. He wants everything back. Again,
Right.
fair.
Because this is the
But-
shit that Russia does. They just take a little bit and they're like, okay, we'll stop, we'll leave it there,
That's-
and they keep
so
just fucking
What
inching.
Russia does is they have referendums.
Yeah.
So they force the population to get Russian passports. So that's the big issue. So that's why
Yeah.
Zelensky wants that property back, because technically, in Ukrainians' eyes, well, actually, not even technically, but on paper and per policy, anyone that was inside of those territories that had the referendum and signed over their, the passports to be essentially Russian are Russian citizens.
Right.
So they want them back, and then obviously when you sign over to actually get a Russian passport, you are part of the conscription. So like a lot of those people are being forced to fight for Russia, and there's some of those talks earlier in the war too that a lot of those Ukrainians were forced to fight. I think they were called LPR, and they were pushed right in the front lines.
And then they ran out of them and they needed North Koreans.
Yep.
Apparently they're getting more North Koreans too.
Oh brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, right now it's the latest I've seen or heard is like 40% of the North Koreans have been either killed or injured. So that's crazy.
Yeah, well, they're all hooked on porn, dude. They don't want to
Yeah,
fight.
they're addicted.
Like,
Yeah, they're getting
More porn.
yeah. They're over there, they saw Latina, and they're like, good little song.
Dude, just spending an hour in the porta john.
Yeah. I gotta go to the bathroom. Again? Why do you need lotion in the bathroom?
My hands get
You
dry.
guys are using lotion?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the end state with that is, because like North Korea doesn't even have enough, and like they're trying to, start shit with fucking whoever. I don't think China's gonna back them if they do.
No.
Nah.
China knows better.
And then,
Well, I mean the
Russia's depleted its army.
yeah. Well, the relationship between China and Russia anyway is like it's not a paper alliance. It's just sort of a handshake agreement.
Yep.
So
It's not a strong one.
It's a hey, we got each other.
yeah, there's nothing on paper that
Yeah.
has been signed.
But
But I think Russia's North Korea's or China, I mean, is North Korea's only ally.
so Russia still is, but Russia is benefiting more than North Korea is, which North Korea should be benefiting more from Russia.
Right.
So there was a handshake, just like you said. There has to be some sort of handshake between North Korea and Russia right now.
Yep. Yeah. Because North Korea and China, they have actual written,
Right.
documented alliances, contracted alliances.
Yes,
But the
And,
minute North Korea does something, China's gonna be like, nah.
Yep.
We don't have it.
I mean, most of the equipment that the North Korean military uses is Russian and Chinese equipment. But now
Yeah.
North Korea is going through their own type of modernization, and they're trying to be independent. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, North Korea is just trying to get, I think, combat hardened troops.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is
good luck.
backfiring.
Yeah, they're not going to get them back.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, most of those troops have even said that they can't handle a modern army right now.
Well, and it's like, okay, you're gonna get combat hardened troops, but like all that's happening is you're getting blown up by a fucking like drone.
Yeah.
Like it's not like you're like in combat. Like there is some trench warfare and like
I mean,
close quarters shit.
yeah.
North Korea's.
But most of it is they're just fucking, okay, here's some guy in a field.
Yeah.
And they just fly a fucking JDI into him.
You know what I think is going to happen? North Korea's going to start putting in Radio Shacks.
Yeah, dude.
Building their own
Yeah.
drones. Bringing Radio Shack back.
Yeah. Yeah. Buy it now.
That's
Buy
right.
it now,
Cheap.
dude.
It's cheap. It's going to be the next GameStop.
Yeah. I'm calling it here.
I'm going to put it all on Radio Shack.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull out my retirement and just buy calls.
Yeah. I'm going to take a loan out on my TSP.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
And put it on Radio Shack.
Yeah, yeah, that'd go great.
Oh. It's
So
it's
funny.
a game of roulette, but that ball's going to land on Toys R Us.
Ooh. Yeah, the draft,
That's
big
right.
old draft.
On
Yeah.
gum that has flavor for like 2 seconds.
Ugh. What was that other gum that like tasted good for the first like second? It was like Hubba Bubba or
Oh,
Double Bubble or
Bubblicious.
something like that.
Yeah.
And it was like hard as a fucking rock when you took it out of that wrapper, dude. And it was like, oh, this tastes really good. And then your jaw just started to fucking cramp up.
Well, have you guys ever had?
Well, do you know like the plastic container, the round
The
plastic
tape,
container?
the tape
Yes.
gum. Yeah,
Did you guys ever like just take the whole gum out?
yeah, just shoved on. Well, you eat it like a sandwich, and you're just like, yep. Dude, we had some kid in school. He was like, "Do you want some?" I was like, "Yeah." And he opened it up, and there was just like a bite out of the. And I was like, "Dude, you need help. You need help, dude. We need to get this guy freaking some kind of education or something here."
When I was a
That's
kid, I
what
used
TMJ.
to. When I was a kid, I used to get the jawbreakers, and I used to put them in my back molars and bite down as hard as I could
Fuck yeah.
until it melted,
Oh,
and then my jaw was clenched shut.
Oh, because it's like stuck to the fucking jawbreaker. Yeah.
And then I would freak out for like 30 seconds until the sugar sort of melted.
oh
Well,
yeah.
That's how you got that jaw muscle eating those fucking apples, dude. Man just fucking, it's like a snake. He's like a python eating an egg. Dude. He just fucking opens his jaw.
So-
Just like a horse eating an apple.
Let's make this clear. I eat apples the way I do because I have.
Bro, I'm not going to take the apple from you. Just
Dude,
enjoy
he
it.
was raised by a horse.
Yeah.
Like Clydesdale.
No. So I don't have texture issues with most foods, but
Yeah.
I for some reason do with apples, and it has to do with the way the skin of the apple goes in between like my teeth and gums. I don't know why, but it's just apples. So I
you don't
found
have
that
texture issues with a banana,
Nope.
a pear.
Nope. So I found that if I just take exceptionally large bites from apples, I could sort of mitigate that, and then just chomp.
It's
chomp on the large
basically
piece with my back molars.
3-bite apple is what it is.
Dude, that one day at
One,
work.
two, three. Dude, I thought you were going to inhale. I thought that was going right in your lung, dude. I thought you were going to breathe in and fucking go over to Bamsey and be like, yeah, I got a half an apple in my
just
lung.
the unified silence between the two. I took that bite, and I'm facing away from everybody, so I took the bite and you hear, and then just immediate silence, and I knew what you guys were looking at.
Bro, it sounded like fucking lightning struck the building. That shit was fucking loud.
Dude, they'd open you up and find 10 apples and probably 100 sugar cubes.
Yeah, we'll get him a salt block.
And a whole carrot.
You can just sit there and fucking lick it. Yeah, that was pretty remarkable, honestly.
It's pretty cool.
How fast you fucking eat that thing.
Well, it's the only thing that helps me get past the texture issues with apples.
Then have something else, man. What are you doing?
But they're good for you. Apples are really good for you.
Yeah, there's a lot of other stuff that's good for you, too.
I'd like to see how many
apples are
you can eat.
convenient because like they don't really go bad that fast, so you could buy a lot of them and just store them at home. And
Yeah, they don't go bad fast. You fucking inhale the thing. Fucking, how are they supposed to go bad? You're just friggin' sucking it in. It's not gonna do anything.
yeah, but I mean, it just so what?
I mean, I think the worst texture thing that I've had was I had COVID in like 2020. It's like the OG fucking nothing out yet. They're like, oh, you're gonna die, and I had a banana, and I didn't think about it, and I didn't have any smell or taste, and I bit into it, and it's the texture of a banana but zero flavor. It's just room temperature.
Oh, dude.
And it was fucking gross.
The moment I realized that I had COVID was, I think it was like a Saturday morning. I was drinking. But let me finish.
Beautiful Saturday morning. The sun's rising, and I'm hammered drunk.
I was drinking coffee.
Oh, okay.
It was black coffee and no taste. It just was like hot water.
Ooh.
And I knew instantly what it was. But that's when that happened. It was back in 2020. So our work really didn't know what to do with people who had symptoms and the rules that they wanted for staying at home. So when I called into medical and told them that I had these symptoms, they were like, well, you have to go 14 days symptom-free, and then you could show up to work. Well, I felt totally fine. This was before they realized that loss of taste and smell was a long-term issue.
Yep.
So I spent a whole month.
I had the same thing.
Oh, wait, and then finally medical was just like, we think you're good.
So I was deployed for that, and we went back. We went from El Salvador all the way back up to fucking Alameda.
Okay.
And we all went into a hotel, and before we left the ship, we went and we got a COVID test, and then we got on a bus and we went to the hotel. So they did 2 COVID tests. They did like one of the rapid tests, and then they did like the fucking brain stick.
Oh.
And so on the rapid test, it came back negative, and I was like, okay, cool. I was feeling a little shitty, but I was like, maybe it's just I'm feeling shitty. And then the next day, they call me, and I'm like, this is weird because like now I really can't fucking taste anything. And they call me, and it's medical, and they're like, you mind telling us the last 4 of your social? And I'm like, well, that's not fucking good. Right? There's no reason they're asking for that. So I tell them, and they're like, yeah, you're 5555.
Call the force.
4.
So they called and they were like, yeah, your test came back positive. So you have to like, you had to be symptom free for 48 hours. So I was like, okay, not too bad. We just started here. We're in this fucking hotel for 2 weeks. So we get to the end, and like my supervisor at the time, I told him, and he was like, okay. He's like, like, do you have any symptoms? And I sent him a video in the bathroom. I took a fucking black coffee, and I took some orange juice, and I poured the orange juice in the coffee, and I drank it and swished it around in my mouth, and I was like, yeah, there's nothing. Don't taste the fucking thing. And I was like, that's pretty gross. And then it gets to later on. We're at like probably like day 10 or 11, right? And every day I had to check in with the ship, and then I had to check in with medical. So it was a real pain in the ass. And I check in with medical, and they're like, hey, you're coming up to the end of like your quarantine time. Like, do you have any symptoms? I'm like, it's just still the smell and taste. I was like, I got nothing. And they're like, we can't get you out of quarantine until you're symptom free for more than 48 hours. I was like, this could go for like ever. Right? Like, there's people that it just doesn't come back.
Locked away because you can't taste or something.
And they're like, well, we don't know about that. So I called my chief and I was like, hey, look, like they're trying to keep me here.
Also giving you a week to live.
Yeah, he was like, well, what do you mean? And I was like, well, you have to be symptom free for 48 hours, and I still can't smell or taste anything. So he's like, okay, like how long does that last? I was like, well, looking around online, it could be forever. So like, I'm not gonna stay stuck here. He's like, let me make some phone calls. And he did that, and then the next thing I know, he calls me, and he's like, they're going to be coming up to your room to slide a waiver under the door. He's like, sign it and slide it back out. And it was basically like they made a waiver right then to be like, you're not contagious anymore, even though you have symptoms.
Oh,
and I'm like, that's fucking crazy.
That was like that
Dude, they were so clueless. They were so fucking clueless that whole time. And then, so we switched. I was in 3 separate berthings that deployment. Because I went in the initial one, then someone on board freaking got sore throat and they got tested and they had COVID. So like, you know what we're going to do now? We're going to move everybody around. So they proceeded to kick everyone out of their berthings to then make a quarantine berthing, which I would have just had. The berthing that dude is in is the fucking quarantine berthing. Anyone who lives with them, sorry, but you're in there.
Yep.
No, they're going to move everyone around. So they did that. Then a bunch of fucking people got sick, and they're like, okay, now if someone's sick, the whole berthing gets locked down. So we pull into Alameda, and there's like 30 of us doing fucking line handling, working the fucking tug, everything. It's a fucking, it's normally like a 60-person operation, and there's 30 people. So we do that, and we get in, and then when we get back underway, they're like, yeah, we're going to switch up all the berthings again, so everybody who had it is going to be in like a berthing together versus people that didn't. I had the unfortunate experience of getting put in a berthing with people that did nothing but fucking bitch for a month and a half, dude. They were just bitching. And I'm like, can you all shut the fuck up? Like, do you think I want to be in here? No. This sucks.
They were just bitching about having to be moved?
No, they didn't have to move. They were all in their fucking berthing because the whole berthing got sick except for one guy. So I took his rack.
Oh, gotcha.
And they're like, we're not fucking doing anything. I was like, nobody's fucking doing anything. I was like, at least when you pull in, you're home. Yeah. I still have to fucking sleep here and then fucking fly back. Hopefully. Yeah. If they let us fly back, because we took a C-20 something there. So I'm like, do we have to wait for another military flight?
Dude, I'm so glad I was not deploying during that time.
Dude, I wasn't even deployed. I was on a watch floor.
And, well, I did that shit too.
Well, I didn't even have COVID. I didn't even have COVID for the first time. And I just remember I had to use the bathroom, and I came back, and all I did was like, "Phew, is it just me, or is it getting hot in here?" And my supervisor was basically Professor Snape's.
It's like, yeah.
Do you think you have a fever?
Do you think you have the illness?
And like, I didn't know what he was talking about. He's just like, "You need to vacate the premise as soon as possible.
This area is off limits to students. Leave at once."
This is your supervisor? Yeah. He's my watch captain.
So like, crazy guy, crazy fella.
Dude, he's a great guy. He was wonderful. But like, I left, and I mean, my wife was pregnant at the time, so I was just like, geez, this is kind of a big deal because I mean, like, what? I mean, everyone thought everyone was dying from COVID.
Yeah.
So we were like, oh, brother, we got to get tested. It was a Sunday. Went to the hospital, and they only would see her. They couldn't check me. And she was in there for freaking 6 hours while I was basically rotting in the parking lot. And I had to get tested the next day through the freaking drive-thrus.
Yeah, those drive-thrus suck, dude.
Dude, it was just guys in hazmats, and they'd shove that stick up your nose while you're driving. And like, I was just...
You're parked, and they're like, lean over here, and they just fucking... And you're like, you're in line and watching everybody in front of you just get fucking jousted.
Dude, I was waiting for someone just to like pass out, hit the freaking... Well, it was hit the steering wheel and just floor it and hit the person in front of them.
So it was fun. When we were in Alameda, we actually got in trouble from the medical staff there.
I didn't have COVID, by the way.
Nice.
And I still didn't have to go to work for a week.
Hell yeah. So we had the medical staff. We went to the gymnasium to do this, right? Which was fucking mistake number one for them, because to expect any of us to be like mature was not going to happen. So we went through, and they had a lineup, and they had like you sit in a chair in the middle of the fucking gymnasium and get tested. And when they did the rapid test, they know right then whether you're positive or not, for the most part. So they would have 2 areas, and it took fucking 3 seconds to figure out what area was positive and what area wasn't. And if somebody was freaking positive, we were freaking cheering, and we're like, "Woo, go get him, baby!" And like all of Scan Eagle, all those guys pop positive, and like apparently medical didn't like that. To there's like certain privacy things that need to be done for medical. And they're like, "You did it in a fucking gymnasium in front of everybody." Like, what the fuck do you want, dude?
It makes me wonder too, like the techniques they tried to think of to like figure out like how to diagnose someone with COVID. So like especially in like a gymnasium, because they were doing like mass tests on people, and like there's like hundreds, maybe thousands of people in one area. But like I was kind of always hoping like maybe some like old Native American medicine man would walk in with like
Where you go with this?
just kind of like
Blow
doing his little
frickin'
rain dance, just
like
trying to figure out you have COVID.
Bison horn dust in my face.
Hi, hi, hey,
Oh,
hey.
God.
And then you have COVID.
No.
Yeah, it's got like a bird. But he just
Oh
sends
man,
out
yeah.
a
Actually,
falcon.
the bird tells you.
Yeah.
If the bird flies west, you have COVID.
Yeah.
When I was getting treated for cancer,
Yeah.
and I thought the worst thing about that would be having cancer. But
Yeah.
no, I had to have a COVID test every time I went to the hospital.
Oh.
Yeah, but you don't have any freaking white blood cells, so it kinda makes sense. Like, bro, it's the hood up in your fucking veins, dude. That shit's straight up fucking Section 8.
Dude, like
Fucking-
you show up, you're already pissed because
You got cancer.
I have cancer. Yeah, you're like, all right, well, I'm gonna spend the next week in the hospital getting my fucking chemo into my veins, which is gonna suck already. And they're like, oh,
Yeah.
by the way, we're gonna shove this thing.
Did that
up your
shit
nose
turn your veins
every
black?
time. No. So
Oh.
the way chemo works is they have what's called a port.
That was in your neck. That was the thing in your fucking neck, right?
So yeah, so the port goes in my chest. It's just underneath the layer of the skin. It's about the size of like a quarter.
Yeah.
And then there's it's like a bump, essentially what it looks like.
Yeah.
And then there's a catheter that goes up into your jugular.
Ugh.
So your jugular
Oh.
is considered a strong vein,
Yeah. it
and
is.
strong veins won't die from the chemotherapy drugs. So that's how it would get administered to me. So
That goes right in your brain.
my brain. I don't think that's how it
Did
works.
it- Did it shrink your head?
I mean,
Is that why your head's
my
small?
head is not small because of my chemo.
Just fucking walking around like one of those Snapchat filters with like the fucking pinhead.
It's like those the Ripley's Believe It or Not shrunken.
Yeah. Yeah. Found it in Papua New Guinea. It's just fucking Dan's head. Just fucking looking at you. We believe it was from a giant.
Were you at work? Were you at work when we tried each other's covers
Yeah, he
on?
was.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was there.
Oh, dude, it was like a baby trying on a dad's hat.
Oh, yeah. And then I put his on, and it was like fucking. It was like one of those like toy like cowboy hats. Like fucking like sat the thing on top of my head.
You gotta lube it up,
Yeah,
spit on it.
bro. There's no way that thing's fucking making it on my dome, dude. Got a big ass head.
Yeah, well, not only is my head like
Proportionally small.
but you have a large head.
I do have a large head.
So for us to try each other's hats on,
It's like fucking ET coming at you, dude. I got that hanger in the back. Fucking shit sticking out.
Oh.
Yeah.
like it sucks because I can't wear like most hats. So if I see a hat that looks kind of cool, it's not.
You
gonna
put it
fit.
on and you're like, oh. Put it back.
Well, because I was like, oh, I was at Dick's Sporting Goods and I saw like a cool looking Spurs hat. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, let me try this thing on.
Bro, that's funny.
Here's little Timmy trying his dad's hat on.
Yeah,
It was so embarrassing. I had to put it away.
that's so fucking hilarious.
Well, it it sucks now because I wear my hair shorter
yeah,
because
you
the
don't have hair.
chemo like damaged
Yeah.
my hair follicles permanently.
Yeah, it does that.
Your eyebrows came back. You have nice eyebrows.
Oh, thank you. Well, I get them. Well, I shape them up myself actually.
They look good.
Yeah.
Well, last time I had them waxed. I get my back waxed.
Oh. That's why you
Damn.
get married.
Yeah.
Just
I am married.
well, I mean, like, yeah, but like, you build that bond with your wife. And it's just like, let me shave your back.
Shave my
Well,
back,
no.
I'll shave yours.
So she does usually shave my back, but I started getting it waxed and realized like
You like it. You like the pain.
Oh yeah, bro.
It
Kind
feel
of turns him on,
alive.
dude. They pull that shit. He's like, I'm gonna fucking come, dude.
Don't ask me to roll over.
Yeah. I'm stuck to the table.
Impaled.
No. From a practicality standpoint, it lasts so much longer.
Well, yeah, because it like rips the fucking the root out.
Yeah, but my hair came back after chemo thinner, and the hair follicles were just permanently fucking scorched.
Yeah, well, it went in your fucking head, dude.
Did your back come
That
back
was straight
normal?
fucking...
No, my fucking body hair came back just normal.
That's
Yeah.
great.
It's the hair on my head.
See, nobody tells you that when you're a kid, that you're ruined from the neck down.
Yeah.
That's why I just go to the gym. I'm like, oh, if I could at least look decent and be strong.
Yeah. Just fucking get after it a little.
Nobody will look at my proportionally
Everything
small
will be
head.
fine.
Have you ever tried like the lasers for hair removal?
No, so my wife has one of those like at home laser hair removals. She keeps saying that
Does she want to do my whole head?
It's probably not good for your brain.
Fucking dude.
I want to actually do it, but like with our, obviously our deployment schedule,
Yeah.
I'm not home long enough to do a consistent
Take it with you.
routine.
Get a
Dude.
get a birthing buddy to do it.
Yeah.
Your birthing wife.
No, we'll be working back. Hey, Chief, can you laser my back?
Yeah. Chief, I need you to zap some follicles real quick. Do
You
something.
do me, I'll do you.
Dude, that was the nice thing though. I mean, obviously, chemo ruins your life, but
Sure.
it also makes you pretty aerodynamic.
Yeah.
Go down.
Yeah,
a
you can
slip
run
and slide
fast
like
now.
a bitch.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
A
but
fast bitch.
Bro, we get him some light up sneakers, dude. He's
Oh.
off, dude. He's off.
Lights up from toe to head.
dude, I would have been if I had light up sneakers during chemo. I would have been the talk of the town because I got treated in a pediatric ward.
Oh, dude.
Dude, the kids would have been jealous.
Yeah. Dude, I would have went around. And someone's like, "How old are you?" I would have been like,
That's a
I would have
bad
just said like
one.
12.
Well, yeah, I mean, so I got treated in the pediatric ward because the cancer that I had was like more commonly found in kids.
I thought it'd be funnier if they just tried a hat and they're like, "Kid size." Send him over.
So the doctors who like actually knew how to treat it, or like were better or more well versed to treat it,
Right.
were the
And you're just a bigger kid.
were the, were the kids.
Yeah.
No, dude, it was good. Like you get treated so much better in a
Yeah.
fucking
Because
kids
they're used to
cancer
working
ward.
with fucking kids, dude.
Yeah. Well, I talked to one dude who had like a similar cancer as I did, and he had to get sent to the adult ward because there were too many kids.
Because he can wear a normal size.
That's
hat.
that's literally a death sentence.
His head diameter was more than 7 inches.
Yeah. 7.5 adult.
What
Yeah,
size
pretty
shoe do you
fucking
wear?
crazy.
9.5.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Not the worst.
No. That's good.
What do you like, a fucking 13?
12 wide.
Yeah, with 12 wide. Your fucking head
Dude,
is
fucking
a 15 wide.
Bigfoot, dude. Well, I
Keep my
got
head in my
the
shoe.
I got the large hat, which I think is 7.5 inches, and then I got the strap on the back almost fully fucking peeled out.
Yeah, I wear a medium-sized hat. You wear a large-sized hat.
And it's crazy because if I don't cut my hair enough, I have to loosen it up more.
Yeah, that strap's holding on for its
Yeah,
life.
that strap. That
Oh,
hat
see,
you
that's
tried
what I was
on
trying to
is
get
with
at.
me with like a shaved head, like a zero
You're
shave.
better off having a hat built on your head at
Dude,
that
yeah.
point.
Okay, now I remember what I was trying to get at with the whole cancer and chemo thing. with
Oh,
the
yeah.
hair.
Yeah.
So because I had long hair,
Oh yeah.
and so obviously I had some hats that I've purchased from like different breweries or whatever. They were pretty cool looking hats.
Yeah.
I can't wear any of them.
And now they're just wall items.
Yeah, I just threw them away
Oh, that's. I love hats
because I can't wear
you
them because my hair was so thick and so long that it actually took up that much space.
Just an Italian stallion.
Dude, it was
Yeah.
good. It was dark. Dude, I had it all slicked back. Oh my god, it was beautiful. I look at
That's
pictures and
fucking
like
grease,
right
dude.
before I had treatment, I was like, those were the
Damn.
days. Damn, what could have
Damn,
been?
That's crazy.
You're one of those guys that always has to like prove it to people. It's just
Like,
like,
don't trust me.
Don't just look.
I used to be
Trust me,
beautiful.
I used to have hair. Yeah.
What? I can't grow on my head. I grow on my back.
I get it waxed.
Dude,
I'm gonna
just
slick
get
it
just get a
back.
back hair toupee, dude.
You know, plugs are kind of the thing now.
Dude, I'm gonna go to Turkey and get a
Hair transplant.
Yeah. Steve
Well,
Carell
do
did
it.
it.
But I
He didn't
see,
go to Turkey.
but I
Sorry.
see people. Well, Turkey, because Turkey. Yeah, he could afford to not go to Turkey.
Yeah, he's doing all right.
He could afford to have an American plastic
So you're
surgeon.
gonna fucking
Yeah.
chop his. They're just gonna literally like insert the fucking hair follicle in
Yeah.
your head.
Well, dude, because I keep seeing these like different people that have had the the hair transplants. Yeah. Some of them look good.
Yeah.
But some of them don't.
Well, the thing
Dude,
is, it looks really shitty in the beginning, like after it first happens.
Yeah, but there's this one, like there's some people that I've followed on social media, and like they get a hair transplant, and it's like 2 years later, and it still looks like they just got a hair transplant.
Dude, so
it does not look good.
When I was a kid, there was this rumor going around. I believed it for such a long time, naive. But like, there was a rumor that the hair transplants, the original hair transplants, came from your back or your butt, and they put it on your head. And I don't know if it's true or not. Honestly, I haven't even Googled it, like since I've been an adult. But I'm just thinking, like, people talk about, I got a hair transplant. I'm like, dude, you have ass hair on your head.
Yeah.
And like, it's like, maybe that's why it's so curly.
Yeah, it's like a completely different
weirdly
texture.
Yeah.
You got just patches of just curly hair. It's like, this looks awfully puby.
Why is your only curly hair on top?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why is it only in the front?
I mean, I guess
just a like a horseshoe, like horseshoe of pubic hair.
Or like they just had enough money to get like sideburns or like chops,
or they think they're gonna be real cool and like, I'm gonna get a mustache transplant.
Oh,
just chilling. Yeah.
Just a thick, burly, like steel wool. Ooh,
you guys get one of those stuck on your tongue?
Ooh, nope.
Little flavor saver.
It's like, check it out. I'm gonna put a lighter on it. It'll never catch.
Yeah. Extra. Yeah.
Just like a Ford.
But at least, even though my head is abnormally small, it has a decent shape.
Yeah.
So, like, I could still rock like short hair.
Yeah. I'll still rock short hair, but I got a friggin' crown.
Grow it
top,
out,
dude.
man.
No, dude, it's literally.
You're gonna regret it one day.
I've tried. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I would literally.
I
would literally
Oh,
get my hair fucking lasered off.
Oh, it's a black curse.
Yeah. Yeah. Great.
Oh. No, you're gonna you'll go through chemo and come back with thicker hair.
Probably.
Oh,
dude, well, that's like the big thing.
Like the fucking wolf man coming back, dude.
Just grow it on your underneath your eyes.
I just got like one of those cheek beards where it goes up to my fucking eye.
Dude, that is absolutely insane.
I have weird like hair that grows out of like here, and I'm like, can you fucking not?
Is it just sporadic?
It's just no. It's like there's like a patch like
I met a guy
under my eye.
I met a guy that literally it comes up right up.
It's like a reverse eyebrow, dude.
Yeah, actually, our what's his name? He had hair that grew all the way up.
Yeah, we had one of the like IT folks.
Yeah,
that worked with our team.
Yeah,
and he must have shaved with his eyes closed because he would have the hair follicles or the little pieces of hair just below his eye that were like a quarter of an inch long, and then the hair at the very bottom of his neck, a quarter of an inch long.
Fuck yeah, dude. Chest hair at that point.
Dude, it's like he would just do a couple of like passes with a razor and go, all right, that's good.
It's like one of those guys. You guys ever have bowl cuts growing up?
Oh yeah.
You guys know people with bowl cuts?
Yeah.
Where like literally they put
Luckily, I never
on
had
their head and just cut it.
Maybe that's what he did. He wore like a turtleneck and a bowl on his head, and just like shaved.
Well, I think the best were the COVID cuts, where people would put a mask on and they would just shave everything around the mask.
Oh,
and then you'd be to work and they'd be like, check this shit out. And they pull the fucking mask down.
He'd have an afro.
Dude, that was the best part about the masks is just getting away with not shaving.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, it was pretty all right.
Well, you grow nothing anyway, from what I can see. I mean, you have your mustache that comes in.
Well, it's more now. It was definitely way less then, but it was nice not having to fucking shave it anyway.
Yeah,
dude. When I took those 3 weeks of leave over Christmas, man,
you look homeless.
No, I had my beard come in. It was nice.
Yeah,
I loved it. I miss it.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
I wish I could grow a beard,
dude. As soon as my barber like shaped up my beard and like blended it in, I was like, I need to get out of the military right now.
Yeah. It was like, oh, is there any way to switch from legacy?
Yeah, but like, all right. So, for people listening, for all 5 people listening,
hi, Clarissa's family.
I have legacy retirement for the military. There's 2 options. You have legacy and you have BRS. BRS gives you 40% pension at 20 years. Legacy gives you 50% pension at 20 years. But BRS will give you up to a 5% match on your TSP, where you don't get a match on the legacy retirement. I had an option when I got out of the Marine Corps and joined the Coast Guard to opt in to either BRS or Legacy. And I chose Legacy because I figured, well, I'm probably going to stay in and retire because it is better. But now they have this continuation, career continuation bonus or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And I don't freaking...
Doesn't get it.
I don't get it because I don't have BRS. What bullshit is that?
It's not for you.
Because
They're
they
trying
got
to weed
you.
out the old people.
They got you, dude. They're trying to get rid of a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry that I'm not some young spry chicken off the street who's been in for, been in since breakfast.
I mean, I opted in the BRS.
Yeah. And he's older
From
than you
Legacy.
are.
Yeah.
Spring chicken.
Yeah, well, you're getting out, so you're not getting the bonus anyway.
no, that's
So
Well, if he keeps extending for a year, he's not.
brother.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm just doing it once. I'm just doing it once.
Just keep extending.
It's killing me.
Yeah, fuck that. My answer would be nah. No. Not happening. Well, it's like all the people that just got out recently, and there's a freeze. They were like just over an hour. Yeah. It's like all the people that got out recently, and there's a freeze, and they their job got fucking taken away.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of scary.
Not the best.
Yeah, I'm a little.
Those are the higher end jobs too. I mean,
Those are the ones that you can't sum up in 3 sentences. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll talk a little bit more about that on our next episode.
Yeah,
I
Dan's
think so.
itching to fucking
Get a little
hit
political,
fucking
man.
stop. Yeah.
Well, I want to.
Yeah. The next one or the one before this will get political. I don't know what way we're uploading them anymore. You'll figure it out when we upload it. If this doesn't make any sense, then whatever. All right, everybody. We'll see you in the next one.